Honorable Men Discord, Genocide in Gaza. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm going to get straight into it. You know that I'm always cautious and wary to talk about politics. I'm not that well versed in politics. I don't fully believe in politics. I don't fully believe in government. And when I say that, I say I don't really have confidence that politicians and government really have the people's interests at hand. I think sometimes they address issues that the people are concerned about for political reasons, for political gain, if you will. But I don't think that at heart they really care about the people. And when I say the people, I mean the everyday people, the 9 to 5. I'm not talking about businessmen and women. I'm not talking about those that are successful in life. The quote unquote little people. I don't think politicians and government really has the little people in mind. I don't think they ever had them in mind. I think those are on the top want to remain on the top, and they will do whatever it takes to see that through. With that being said, I was aware of the war that's going on abroad, but I'll be honest, I didn't pay much attention to it. That's the benefits of living in the United States. I don't deny that. Even though I don't believe in I don't fully believe in politics and government and laws. I do recognize the fact that I am fortunate. I am blessed to live in the United States. I wanted to start by saying that because I don't want this to come across as, oh, you're ungrateful. Even though I'm sure someone will watch this and just say, oh, he's ungrateful. Look at how he's talking about. What I'm here to talk about is humanity. All right. And I'd like to believe a lot of the episodes that I do cover, I try to analyze it from a humane place. Okay. Now, from what I came across that's going on in Gaza, I see it as a extreme lack of humanity. Now, I understand in war, I'm not here to talk about who started what. I understand in war there's going to be some casualties that aren't necessary just casualties to those that are engaging in war, meaning military versus military. In a perfect world, when there's war, when there's disputes, it's military versus military. There's casualties from both sides as far as military and political figures. And I do understand that in war, there's going to be some casualties of war, particularly those of innocent people. But there comes a point in time where you ask yourself, one side has to know whether or not they're the victor in war. One side has to know that they're dominating at some point in time. And the question is, why continue dominating if you know you're already winning? In layman's term, if you're fighting in just a one-on-one fight, one person at some point in time, whether it's a professional fight or a street fight, one person is going to know that they're winning the fight. And whether that person chooses to stop or continue says a lot about that person. Whether or not that person has mercy, whether or not that person just has blacked out and just doesn't care about what they're doing to the other individual. There has to be a point where that one individual realizes that they're winning. In this case, it's not one individual. It's military might versus, at this point, I would like to say, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, this is military might versus innocent bystanders. I don't even think there's an opposition left to combat the military might. And if there isn't a force to combat, the force is pretty much obliterated to next to nothing. And this is why I chose to talk about this episode, because from what I saw online, people are running away from this topic, and I choose not to run away from this topic because there's people that are dying, children that are dying in particular, innocent people that are dying that are not in military uniform, that do not have weapons, particularly little children, babies, toddlers. And for me, as an individual with this channel, I cannot not talk about it. It's easy to just jump on here and talk about sports and entertainment, but I think it would be careless as a human being to not speak on this. So I have a few videos queued up. I'm going to get into it, and I'll speak about it as I see fit, but I'm going to play all these videos, and let's just get into it. Let's get with the first video. Let's start with the first video.
Not hearing what's going on in Gaza right now anymore is because they're getting rid of the reporters. They're getting rid of them, one way or another, because they don't want people to see what's actually going on. Pretty much everyone in Gaza is... Yeah, and we're not seeing it because they target the reporters. They do not want everyone seeing what's going on. You have to look up this right here. I'm not saying it because it's just going to shadow ban me and all that kind of crap when I do. But yeah, terrible things. Pretty much everyone there is. And it's all because they're targeting reporters because they do not want anybody knowing the severity of the situation. That's why you're not seeing it on your feed. That's why you're not hearing about it. This is all part of their plan. If they get rid of the people that are reporting on things, then people don't see what's actually going on. So, look that up, because it hasn't stopped and it's not getting any better for them. And the reason why...
Moving right along.
That we had to deliver her by an emergency C-section.
I'm going to pull this back.
I had a beheaded lady who's 9 months pregnant that we had to deliver her by an emergency C-section in the emergency room.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sayed Aziz. I'm an anaesthetist who works in Australia, and essentially I'm in a state of shock. We're in Al Shifa Hospital. We've been here a week. It took us 2 attempts to try and get up to the north to come to Al Shifa, and we thought it was devastating in Shuhada Al-Aqsa Hospital, where we spent a couple of days, and we come to Al Shifa and it is catastrophic. It's cataclysmic. I can't even begin to explain how horrific the situation is. From an anaesthetic point of view, so many simple things that should be straightforward, it's just non-existent. So we have patients walking into theatre. We have patients coming in asking how their relatives are. We have, it's absolute chaos. They have to bring their own mattress if they're lucky and they've rescued it from the rubble. They have to bring the patient on the mattress. The family members have to lift the patient onto the bed. The operating bed doesn't go up or down, it's broken. We essentially have no suction. There's no suction. You have to share a suction with the surgeons. And it is filthy. There's nothing to clean anything with. It's a miracle that we're getting anything done. We have started at 8 o'clock this morning and it's about 11 o'clock at night. Now, this is us. The people from Gaza, the healthcare workers, have been working day and night. They do 48-hour shifts. Some of the healthcare workers have to continue on because the others can't make it. They're stranded, they've moved south. So they're working non-stop, tirelessly. They're all thin, hectic, exhausted. They've been malnourished for 2 years. They've been doing this for 2 years. And to see their dedication to each and every patient, to try and save each and every life, I'm in awe of them. I cannot believe they are continuing after 2 years. We have been here 2 days and it's been a shock. I don't know how they've been doing it for 2 years. It's unbelievable. Like the lack of equipment. An operation that should take an hour takes 3 hours because they have to wait 20 minutes to find a suture, to find a pair of scissors. There's flies everywhere in the rooms. Like there's just no way of maintaining any form of sterility. And the stress and the tension between the healthcare workers, each and everyone is worried about their situation. No one knows where they're going to go, what they're going to do. Like, you can sense the anxiety in the room, and yet they still manage to focus on the patient. I just don't know how they're managing to do it. And they're all having to worry about their family members, how they're going to feed them. They have no structure. Their children have been out of school for 2 years now. There's no schools. Healthcare is it's not collapsing. It has collapsed. Like, I don't know how it's functioning. And, patients who should be going to intensive care, who should be coming back, getting a relook, they can't. There's no way. I have had to take patients out into not even a recovery. It's literally taking them onto the floor. I have no idea what's happening, and just getting the family members to look after them. They can't even do any dressing changes. There's nothing. And then on top of that, the bombs are dropping constantly. There was a bomb outside the hospital front door. Today, we've only been here 2 days. This is 2 days in a row. Today, we've had zero internet. We've got no Wi-Fi. There's no way of communicating with anybody. Like, it's intentional psychological warfare. I'm not sure what's happening, but this has to stop. They need to stop throwing the bombs. We need absolute unimpeded medical aid. We need food, nutrition. There's no way that patients are going to heal. And the worst part is it's all children and women and young families. Like, it's a stain on our humanity, and I am ashamed to call myself human. I'm ashamed to be an Australian who has basically remained silent. The F-35 parts are not non-lethal. They are absolutely lethal. And I would challenge any minister in the Australian Parliament to come and spend a day here with us. I would love for them to spend a day and then decide whether their F-35 parts are non-lethal. So we need to have an arms embargo right now. Enough is enough.
Just an example of one day today. So it's not just, one mass casualty. So one mass casualty, and that's, they say, the lucky one. Or, you haven't seen anything yet, Dr. Nada. So at least 10 to 20 dead on arrival, or GCS3 that we can't do anything about, and we don't even have painkillers. The only thing that we have is ketamine. So you just want to give them something for comfort and not to die in a bad way in front of the parents or in front of their family or the other way around. I had a beheaded lady who's 9 months pregnant that we had to deliver her by an emergency C-section in the emergency room.
She said that at the beginning. This is just horrible. But I have to applaud those nurses, those doctors, the medical staff that have put themselves in those conditions to help people. They put their service over their own personal safety, and you gotta applaud that. You have to applaud that, because they don't have to be there, but they're choosing to be there.
200,000 dead, because we don't have any idea how many bodies are still buried in the rubble.
How many bodies got vaporized?
How many bodies were vaporized? That's exactly right. How many people were disappeared?
How many people are rotting away, getting tortured in some prison right now that on the charge of throwing a rock?
That's right.
What got me interested in it, there was an Palestinian American dad whose boy got beaten to death, a Florida resident, in the West Bank by a mob of Israeli settlers. Mm-hmm. And then his nephew...
I know what you're talking about.
His nephew got taken to Israeli prison on the charge of throwing a rock, where he started out 110 pounds, 15 years old, spent his 16th birthday in Israeli prison, military prison, and lost 27 pounds, had scabies. And this type of stuff, even Mike Huckabee, who's one of the chief Zionists you can imagine.
The worst of the worst.
Even he added Israel on Twitter and said, this is a murder that we need to investigate. Mm-hmm. Someone needs to be held accountable. And of course, like most settler violence, no one gets charged with anything.
It's probably...
Listen, I'm not going to isolate just what's going on in Gaza. The issue in this world, across the world, it's always going to be those with power against those that don't have power, period. It's those with power versus those who don't have power, which is why, again, at the beginning of this episode, I said I don't believe in politicians. I don't believe in government. Why? Because politicians are humans and humans are flawed. All humans are flawed, including myself. All right, that's me taking accountability ahead of time before I have people in the comments acting as though I'm a saint. I'm not a saint, and neither is anyone that's watching this episode. But the question is who's able to take accountability for their actions and for their own life? Who's able to look at stuff like this from a humane standpoint and say this is not right, period, without bias? Who's able to do that? That's the question. Or you just turning a blind eye and enjoying fever or the NBA finals. Listen, make no mistake about it. Yes, I watch sports. I'm currently watching sports, but let's not act as though we're not seeing the images that we're seeing in terms of Gaza.
I'm only 10. I can't even do anything in this sport. I just want to be a doctor or anything to help my people, but I can't. I'm just a kid. I don't even know what to do. I get scared, but not really that much. I do anything for my people, but I don't know what to do. I'm just 10. I'm just 10. All of this, when I see it, I literally cry every day, saying to myself, why do we deserve this? What did we do to this? My family said they just hate us. They just don't like us because we are Muslims. Why does Muslims act for you like that? You see all of the kids around me? They're just kids. Why wouldn't you just send a missile to them and kill them? It's not fair. It's not fair.
Those in power versus those that don't have power. I know the images are repeating, but I allowed it to repeat because I wanted you to see the before and after images of civilization. And you got to ask yourself, I had this conversation with someone, and I know they said all throughout history, war was necessary to get things done, unfortunately, in this life. Unfortunately, in this life, just talking about your issues, your differences is not enough. Eventually, war happens. I'm not for war. I understand it happens. Now, regardless if I'm for war or if I'm not, again, this is those in power versus those that don't have power. Which is why those who have power make decisions that not everybody agrees with, but what can the little people do besides report? And we're barely reporting on this, all right? So as someone that does not have power, which is myself, I do not have power, the very least I could do is report it. If I have a channel, the very least that I could do is not turn a blind eye to it and report it. But this is just, and just a reminder, I say this all the time. And what exactly is the goal? Because none of us live forever, all right? So if the goal is to gain more power, more territory, more land, then what? You want the land to yourself? You want land to yourself? None of us is living forever. We're passing down. We want to pass the world down to our for generation after generation. That's very selfish. This world is not just for one particular race, not for one particular ethnic group, religious group. This world is for all of us, and if we can't agree on that, then we're all evil. All right. If you can't agree on the fact that this world is for all of us, regardless if we agree with religious perspectives, regardless if we have the same culture, if anything, that should be the fabric of this world and what makes the world special and unique. But this is bizarre. This is crazy. This is crazy.
They are going to resettle Gaza. They're going to occupy all of Gaza. We were right all along. It was never about self-defense. It was a colonial power doing conquest land grab. They murdered all those Palestinians on purpose. They leveled all of Gaza on purpose. They've now set up a concentration camp in the south, and they're saying that they're going to continue to just basically starve, kill, humiliate, oppress those Palestinians until they leave for a different country. They're going to take Gaza for themselves. They are genocidal maniacs, and they have now confirmed it. So I'm assuming that everyone who supported Israel is now going to say, oh, sorry, you guys were right all along. It turns out I was supporting a genocide, and I was supporting the murder of over 20,000 children so Israel can have more land. Disgusting.
This is the final video.
This genocide. Watch. Remember when they told everyone to move down south? It's going to be safe down south. Watch. The crazy part is, I showed you guys this 135 days into this genocide. We are 80 more days into this genocide, and we are literally witnessing the same thing. Close to 40,000 innocent people have been murdered. Tens of thousands are still under the rubble. And now everyone's here, down in the south, in Rafah, and they're bombing Rafah. There are over 1.5 million innocent Palestinians that have been displaced in the south of Gaza, in Rafah, right here. Over 600,000 of them are children. The aid, the food, the waters, all in that area. And now Israel's indiscriminately bombing this area. Now, mind you, all of these people are living under tents. They're indiscriminately bombing this area, dropping leaflets from the sky telling them it is no longer safe to be there. They have to leave. Where are they supposed to go? Literally, where are they supposed to go? There is nowhere else for them to go. How can you look at this visual demonstration and not call this a genocide, not call this an ethnic cleansing, not call for a ceasefire? So we need you now more than ever to keep posting, keep sharing, and do not stop talking about Palestine. For those of you who are visual learners,
Dropping leaflets. I guess that's the humanity in all of this. You're dropping leaflets to tell people move. People who most likely have no money, no resources, they're moving on foot. I think there's more people due to this war moving by foot than those that could hop in a car and drive. And I don't even think that's possible with all the rubble. So you drop leaflets. Imagine, put yourself in that, take yourself out of the comfort of the fact that you're probably watching this on your phone or laptop or desktop computer with AC, and all those luxuries that we have. Just imagine leaflets dropping out of the sky, informing you of the danger of you remaining where you are right now and that you need to migrate someplace else. Listen, that's all I have on this episode. What's your thoughts on this? Again, I just felt that it was my obligation as someone with a channel to speak on this. I can't just turn a blind eye to this and just constantly report on entertainers and things that really don't really matter. But when innocent people are dying by the thousands, that matters more than anything else I cover on this channel. Okay? And it wouldn't matter where it takes place in the world. All right, and just to be very clear, let me end this by saying this, because I'm saying this with non-bias. If something like this was happening in Trinidad, where my family is from, I would still speak against this. So be clear. All right, this is not an attack on any one region. This is for any place that this was taking place. So if Trinidad and Tobago was a superpower and was doing this to another place, another country, I would speak against it. I would speak against this. There's no bias in this. There's no bias when it comes to human life, especially children. Especially children. There's no bias. And if you are biased and you know children are dying, shame on you. Shame on you. That's all I have on this. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I drop episodes daily at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, Stay honorable.